March 23rd, 2022. Halfcast 267, episode 267. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? South Carolina security guards attempted to poison boss with eye drops. How much of an asshole does your boss have to be for you to want to kill him but still keep your job? 2 South Carolina hotel security guards were arrested after allegedly trying to poison their boss with eye drops. The 2 men, 47-year-old Andrew Doty and 30-year-old Hunter Howard, were employees at Sea Pines, a resort on Hilton Head Island. Every morning, wake up like it would just be so much better without that guy. You're just sitting on the side of your bed. Oh, God, I hate this guy so much. You and your coworkers get to having a couple beers after work and you just start talking like it's the job. It's not bad. It's just this guy, man. He's the one in the way. It's not the job. It's him. That's how shit gets started. A witness said the 2 put eye drops into their supervisor's personal coffee maker on March 6th, but the witness was able to warn the boss before he drank any of the coffee. Oh, the workplace snitch strikes again. Doty and Howard were arrested Friday and charged with tampering with a human drug product or food item with the intent to do bodily harm to a person. And thank you, workplace snitch. As a reward, you get to cover everyone's shift until we're fully staffed. Both men face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. According to Poison Control, eye drops can cause sleepiness, lower blood pressure, and a slow heart rate when used in high amounts. If swallowed, eye drops can result in serious toxicity or death. And this is one of the many reasons you're not supposed to leave your drink unattended, because something as small as Visine can be easily slipped into your drink and it can possibly kill you for this exact reason. Victim robbed of $100,000 in Upper Manhattan. 3 men sought. First off, when they say Upper Manhattan, they mean Harlem. And you're lucky they didn't rob you on the Apollo doorstep. Police are searching for the men behind a terrifying high-price robbery in Upper Manhattan, Harlem. It happened on March 16th at 3:50 a.m. near Nagel Avenue and Dyckman Street. So what are you doing with $100,000 at 3:50 a.m. in New York City? You might as well have been wearing Christmas ornaments. Police say 2 men followed him into his building's lobby before forcing their way into his apartment. Once they were inside, they tied him up with the extension cord and stole jewelry along with $100,000 in cash. They took off in a BMW SUV driven by a third man, blasting "Mo money, mo problems." No, the only description of the wanted individuals is that they were Hispanic men who wore dark colored clothing. There you have it, children. Don't wear your good stuff out on a school night, making it too easy for these folks. That was a layup. An oral surgeon fed his girlfriend's addictions with anesthesia and an IV pole, police say. Now he's charged with murder. An oral surgeon accused of supplying his girlfriend with addictive anesthesia solutions using an IV stand was charged with depraved heart murder Tuesday, stemming from her fatal overdose in their Maryland home, according to Montgomery County court records. James Michael Ryan, 48, was ordered held in jail without bond Tuesday in the death of Sarah Harris, 25. She was a former patient of Ryan's who had lived at his Clarksburg home for 7 months, police say. After moving in with Ryan, Sarah Harris developed and sank into a serious addiction involving multiple controlled dangerous substances provided by Ryan. Narcotics detectives asserted in court filings. They describe his actions as tantamount to an open supply of drugs. This is a sick bastard. Moves you under his roof, away from your loved ones. That's number one. And then to keep you weak, to keep you docile, and keep you addicted, to keep control over the relationship. He knows you're addicted to drugs, so he keeps giving you drugs. It was not clear from court records if Ryan has retained an attorney. Family members of Ryan's couldn't be immediately reached for comment. He's expected to appear in court Wednesday. Harris died 8 weeks ago. Investigators quietly built their case through autopsy findings, interviews with Harris's relatives, and 10 months worth of text messages between Harris and Ryan. I feel so disoriented. Harris texted Ryan on September 28th, according to court records. It's the ketamine, the combo with maybe the Neurontin, just giving her cocktails. Ryan responded, referring to both an anesthesia and pain medication. They have interactions. Is it hard to walk? No, Harris said, just feel like I'm kind of floating. Recreational use, addiction, and overdose from illicit use of anesthesia are rare compared with opiates and other drugs, but it does happen according to medical literature. Yeah, because if one isn't available, you'll experiment with another. The allegations against Ryan suggest he too used the drugs. I'm trying not to do so much and taper to nothing hard in this stupid area, he wrote to Harris in a September 7th text, according to court filings. At work one day, detectives asserted in court filings some of Ryan's employees found him asleep in his office and needed ammonia smelling salts to wake him up, and charging Ryan with depraved heart, second degree murder. Authorities did not assert that Ryan premeditatedly killed Harris. They instead alleged that as an oral and maxillofacial surgeon well versed in anesthesia, he knew how dangerous the drugs were, knew of Harris's deteriorating addicted condition, and showed an extreme indifference to her life by continually bringing her the drugs and setting up a home delivery system. What's racking my brain is the fact that someone would actually give a person a home delivery system for drugs that doesn't have like a medical condition, someone that doesn't really need the medicine, that's just in need of serious help for an addiction. Relatives have been growing concerned about her drug use since at least the summer of 2021, according to court records, when they noticed her wearing long sleeves at family gatherings despite very hot weather. In October, court records state two relatives went to Harris's house where she appeared to be in an altered state. One of them forced her to roll up her sleeves, whereupon they saw both arms covered with needle marks and bruises that were in various stages of healing. This is very bad because now she meets a guy that she can crash at his crib, and on top of that, he can get her almost unlimited drugs. Police and medics were called to Ryan's house just before 7 a.m. on January 26th about an overdose. They tried to revive Harris, but couldn't, according to court records. Ryan told them that the night before, when he'd gone to bed, Harris was okay, but he awoke to find her unresponsive on a downstairs couch. Narcotics investigators arrived and found two bottles containing residue of injectable propofol, four bottles with residue of injectable midazolam, and one bottle partially filled with injectable ketamine, according to court records. These bottles are not the type of medication that would normally be dispensed from a pharmacy and are usually reserved for clinical medical settings, Montgomery County Police Chief Marcus Jones told reporters Tuesday. We are talking about drugs that are under lock and key in hospitals and clinics, and they're just laying around this man's house like it's just regular shit. Investigators also found hypodermic needles, syringes, and blue rubber tourniquets at the home. A medical examiner later ruled Harris's death as undetermined and caused by ketamine and diazepam intoxication, according to court filings. Just all types of drugs. Investigators said the 25-year-old had grown more and more dependent on drugs. Sarah Harris developed an ever worsening addiction, they wrote in court papers, that was continuously fed over the months by Ryan. Man allegedly scammed $1.3 million from Amazon, sold non existent furniture. Non-existent still might be better than Wayfair. A California man admitted to defrauding Amazon out of more than $1.3 million for selling non existent products, including furniture and home decor. He pleaded guilty to a federal fraud charge on March 21st. Tim Hong Young, 41, acted as a third party seller on Amazon and advertised, sold, and communicated with customers, according to court documents. He also admitted to costing Amazon about $1,302,954 in total losses, prosecutors said. Can you imagine half the furniture in your house saying out for delivery? In 2021, the Federal Trade Commission received reports totaling $5.8 million in losses from fraud and online scams. More than 2.8 million consumers reported being victims of fraud, with most consumers reporting imposter scams followed by online shopping scams using names like Speedy Checkout, Special Sales, and California Red Trading Inc. Young listed expensive home decor and furniture on Amazon at low prices, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California said in a press release. Amazon disperses proceeds from the seller's sales into an internal account every 2 weeks if the seller can provide proof of purchase, including tracking numbers. According to prosecutors, Young provided bogus tracking numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When customers complained about never receiving their shipment, Young then allegedly delayed the refund request until after Amazon dispersed the funds into his accounts. Young collected payment for items that were never shipped nor existed and relied on Amazon's A to Z guarantee to refund his customers. According to court documents, customers sometimes receive cheap crystal ornaments instead of the product they purchased to generate a tracking number. So what it sounds like he was doing, he was waiting to address the refund request until Amazon put the money into his account and then pushed the refund request off to Amazon and not him. Genius. If that's what he was doing, it's fucking genius. Please don't do that. He also allegedly assured customers that their orders were on the way through Amazon's messaging service. Young was also accused of using fraudulent credit cards. Why not? To make purchases on Amazon. Once the products were delivered to his customers, he allegedly told Amazon the product was different from what was ordered. He was really manipulating Amazon from A to Z. Young then requested refunds for the products and often returned a less expensive item than what he ordered, allowing him to receive both the refund and proceeds from the sale to his customer. He currently faces a statutory maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison for wire fraud. He's not going to do 20 years. During a search of his residence last month, investigators seized gold and silver bars, which will help go toward the restitution he agreed to pay, according to a news release. Young is next due in United States District Court on April 12th. Gold and silver bars. You heard right, children. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.